One of the most popular seafood dishes that we do at our restaurant is always anything made with scallops. Look at these beauties. They're dry packed scallops, my favorite, meaning that they're going to have the most intense, delicious, true scallop flavor of any kind of scallop that you could want. Now we're going to pair them with traditional Mexican flavors, but ones that are reminiscent of Baja. Tomatillos for tangy acidity, some wine and olives because those are so classic Baja. Bacon, because, well, bacon's good with practically anything, especially scallops. I'm going to start off making a tomatillo sauce with roasted tomatillos. I did them under this broiler here, about 5 or 6 minutes per side. And I'm going to scrape them into the blender jar along with all of their juices. And to that, I'm going to add a couple of serrano chilies that I roasted dry in a skillet over here. Pull the little tops off like that, drop them right down into the blender. I'm going to put the top on it and a couple of times just to get the blending started. Then I'm going to add to it about a cup of white wine and those green olives that I promised you. They've been pitted and roughly chopped. Those go in there. Top goes back on, and I'm going to blend it to a coarse puree. Okay, now on to some garlic, and I have hardneck garlic from one of our local farmers here. Hardneck garlic tends to have a really unique garlic flavor, and I'm going to take 4 of the cloves, peel them, and chop them up to go into this tomatillo sauce. Some olive oil here that I'm going to use to film the bottom of a pot that I've heated over medium. I'm going to add the chopped garlic to the pan, and then I'm going to let that cook until it's really fragrant. And then our tomatillo white wine green olive mix is going to go into the pan. And I'm going to stir that until it's as thick as tomato paste. It's brought out a lot of the sweetness that those tomatillos can offer in addition to their tanginess. Now while that's cooking, I'm going to chop up some herbs. I've got some epazote here. You could use it or not use it in this dish. So I'm going to pull off a bunch of these and then with the cilantro. Chopped herbs and a little bit of stock. I'm using lobster stock because we have it available in our restaurant. You could use fish stock for this, you could use clam juice, you could use chicken stock. They'd all be very delicious. I'm going to give it just a little bit of salt to start off with. Not my final seasonings. I'll do that right before I serve it. We'll let this simmer now for about 15 minutes or so for all those flavors to come together. Now, instead of cooking the scallops in olive oil like I might do, I've decided to do it in dripping. So I've chopped up some bacon and cooked that until it's crispy, taken that out. I'll use that as a garnish. Now I'm going to sear the scallops in a cast iron pan, heavy cast iron pan that I've got solidly heated to medium. Dry scallops, dried off with paper towels here. I'm going to sprinkle them generously with salt just right before putting them in the pan so the salt doesn't draw any of their moisture out. And I'm going to lay them seasoned side down in this hot pan. I'm going to give them another seasoning of salt on the unseasoned side, and we're going to let them cook until they are a deep, rich golden brown before we flip them over. I'm going to take some of the sauce, put that down bottom of a big plate. 3 scallops here. These are the jumbo diver caught scallops. Best for the environment and certainly best for the flavor. I'm gonna sprinkle over a little bit of bacon. Got some pine nuts, you could put those on. I happen to have some around, so thought they would make a nice addition to this dish. And I've got a little bit of wild arugula. Just a squeeze of lime there. A little bit of salt. Toss that around. See how beautiful that is? The sweet richness of the scallops, the tanginess of that tomatillo, savoriness of the bacon. Beautiful dish.
In Hubert's rustic camp kitchen, he was showing me a couple of other traditional dishes. One of them used an old-fashioned Dutch oven to prepare the pastel de pescado. It layered together the local sea bass called cabrilla with some chopped vegetables and then let the whole thing cook slowly together. And those beautiful chocolate clams got shucked, chopped, mixed with some more vegetables and some mayonnaise, stuffed back in the shells, wrapped in foil, and placed in the grill with hot coals. While those clams were cooking, they brought in a green sea turtle for evaluation. Part of the local preservation efforts include keeping tabs on the area's sea life.
Sea turtle is an endangered species that has been in great danger for many years, and there's some species that are pretty much gone. We know they're going to die, and some of them are increasingly thanks to these conservation efforts of the last 30 years.
And this is part of a conservation
effort. Totally. And this population is starting to grow up now thanks to these conservation projects. This is a green turtle, and it's now starting to recover as a population.
So what are they doing here? They're measuring to record this particular sea turtle. I noticed that there were some tags.
They take all of these measurements to be able to know how the population is going, if it's growing, if it's decreasing, if there is enough food, so that the government can make policies to conserve it.
I wish you the best of luck with this project because I love this place and I want to see all of the marine life here to thrive and thrive.
Thank you.
Ah, muy contento.
There she goes.
Couldn't wait to get back in there, could she?
What an amazing way to end our day. And we still had an incredible feast ahead of us.
I think it's appropriate that we're having this huge feast because these are some of the most fertile waters in the world.
It's definitely. And the place is beautiful.
Well, of course that.